78 Sports TV here with the brother, Mr. Kenny Porter. How you doing today, brother?
Real good, real good. How are you?
Very good, man. I see you guys, Shawn and yourself, have been very active as far as going to all of these fights and keeping yourself in the public eye. So from a fan's perspective, I want to congratulate you and thank you for that. Shawn seems to have a lot of momentum right now. Seems to be very confident. Have you noticed any changes in Shawn, or has he always walked with this sort of strut?
Sean's always been that way. He was bred to be that way. Somebody said the other day, there was a lady who came to Las Vegas for the weekend, and she knows Shawn since he's 8 years old, and she had a son that was older than Shawn, about 5 or 6 years older than Shawn. And Shawn played on the same football field as her son, and she watched him grow up. And she asked Shawn the other day. She looked at him. She said, "Did you know that you were bred to be a champion?" And Shawn kind of looked at her, and he's like, kind of said, I was kind of born into this." And then she said, "No, you don't know how much time your father put in to making you be successful, And it's not a situation that is you wake up one day and you're just lucky that this happened to you, or, you meet somebody and somebody decides to help you out with something." This was all things that were premeditated and that I worked on to put him in a position to always excel in his life. So this is just something that, he's expected to do. If it wasn't boxing, we would expect him to do it, that he would have gone to college and did things there in football or in education.
Right.
The same thing would be expected of him in his social life and his social behavior, or the person that he is. There's no surprise that he doesn't drink. There's no surprise that he doesn't smoke. There's no surprise that he doesn't party. These are things that are expected of him. So when I said to him, "Let's go over here to this fight and check out Devin," he's all for that. He spent a lot of time with the fans last night.
Okay. Speaking of Devin, what did you think of Devin's performance last night, and what do you think, if anything, what do you think he can improve on going forward?
I don't want to be hard on the guy, but it was definitely wasn't his best performance, and I was cheering for him from round 1 through round 10. I wanted to see him have a good fight, be successful, and look good for more reasons than one. One thing I've always looked at and believed is when you look at a person's fight record and you look at the people that they fought, you should also, not just look at the person, winning 25 or 26 fights like Keith Thurman has, but you should also look at the people he's beaten, and the people that he's beaten, look at the people that he's beaten. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Cross-reference, And so when you cross-reference and you see that Shawn has beaten Devin Alexander, who's a two-time world champion, and you see he's beaten Paulie Malignaggi, who's a two-time world champion. He's beaten Julio Diaz, a two-time world champion. He's beaten Adrian Broner, who's now a four different time world champion. Then you can actually, you've got a foundation there. But, to say the least, Devin did not have a very good performance last night, and I was disappointed. I wanted to see him do better.
Yeah, it seems that he hasn't still hasn't figured out how to deal with pressure. Guys getting underneath his jab. I don't understand why he hasn't improved on that. It's like I think Khan was the only person to beat him, outspeed him. Everyone else pretty much bullied him and pushed him around the ring and did whatever they wanted to. It looked like Martinez took a page from that. What do you think of Martinez? Do you think he's as good as he's been looking his last couple of fights?
No, I haven't. I've only watched him once last night. I do know that he had a pretty good fight against Guerrero, and that's what I was told. I didn't actually see the fight.
Okay.
Somebody like him, he's got somewhere between 18, 19 wins and 4 losses.
Something like that, yeah.
Again, it's the same thing. You want to take a look at who he's beaten, and you want to take a look at who he's lost to what those guys have done. So, I don't think that, he's not someone that we're interested in fighting, but a guy like Devin Alexander, it appears Devin underestimated him and was not prepared for him. And that's not a good situation. Ever in boxing, you can never underestimate your opponent.
Right. Okay, I think it was a week ago, there was a lot of reports coming out or Dan Raphael put it out that December 12th, you guys will be facing Keith "One-Time" Thurman. I know that's the fight that you want. You told me about that earlier this year, that you wanted Keith Thurman by the end of the year. How far along is that fight? Have you heard anything, just for the record, to let everybody know what's going on with that situation?
No, nothing has happened. Dan Raphael did make an announcement, or sort of broke some news, but we haven't had any. We haven't received any information that tells us a date, a time, a place, or even that Keith has signed a contract to fight.
Right. Okay. If you don't get Keith Thurman, do you guys still want to fight in December of this year?
Oh, yeah, we have to fight in December this year. Shawn's already been training a good 6 to 8 weeks or more or better. We haven't turned it up as we would like to do. We haven't, really went hard at what we're doing, but we always work hard. So, the next step with what we would do at this point would be specific preparation. And so, we need an opponent. We need someone to fight. So, yeah, we will definitely be looking at fighting in the month of December.
Okay. Currently, you guys are, I think, ranked number 4 by the WBC. You know that title is about to be vacant. Amir Khan number 1, I think, and Danny Garcia jumped to number 2. I don't know how, but he's number 2, and then Shawn, and I think Robert Guerrero is number 4. So I think Shawn is number 3, if I'm not mistaken. Or if you don't get Keith Thurman, is your eye on that WBC title?
Shawn wants to fight for the WBC. He said that more than one time to me. But right now, we're still dealing with a Keith Thurman situation. So until that is definitely not a fight that we're going to have, we will, continue to see how that's going to play out and materialize. At this point in time, it hasn't happened. But as you just brought that to my attention, first of all, I don't know how Danny Garcia gets ahead of us, and he's never fought at welterweight.
Right.
But that happened. I don't know how you continue to put Amir Khan ahead of us, and he barely fights. He fights once a year, if that. We'd love to fight Amir for that title if he's interested. Not if he's interested. Let's make a mandatory situation here.
Most definitely. Okay, my last question for you, brother. Adrian Bronner took on Khabib Alakvadiev. He was victorious, picking up a 4th title in a 4th different weight class. He says he's the changed man. He says he's more dedicated to boxing now. Do you personally believe him? And if so, and also, what did you think of his performance?
No, I highly doubt. He can't change who he is. I highly doubt that anything has changed there with him. And as far as the performance is concerned, I'm glad to be able to say we beat a guy that won 4 world titles. But the guy he just fought, I can't say his name, and he hasn't fought in over a year.
Right.
So, again, it goes back to what I said to you before. Let's take a look at who you fought, and let's take a look at who they fought and who they've beaten and who you've beaten. So there's no substance to this last title that he just won, none whatsoever. But, he did win it. So.
Okay. How's Shawn's weight right now? Is he hovering around fight weight?
No, we don't hover at fight weight. No. But he stays within 12 to 15 pounds of the fight weight. And then when it's time to, we bring it down. But he doesn't. He can walk around near 147 pounds. But if you know me, it's not acceptable to be overweight or out of shape. So he's in excellent shape right now, and his weight is good.
Absolutely. Okay, Brother Kenny, I want to thank you for your time. I know you're a busy man. I'll let you get back to your day, brother. All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you for having me.